Chosen one, you who clears throat, are not here by accident. This moment is a divine appointment, a heavenly summons, a holy interruption designed specifically for your spirit. Things that can't be seen have changed, and heaven has made sure that your steps are in line with this message. You are on the verge of a supernatural breakthrough, a time when God Himself steps into your timeline to give you provision, clarity, and money from heaven. You are no longer carrying the same amount of weight. The fear that spoke to you in the dark is quieting down. The delay that made you doubt your worth is going away because of God's perfect timing. Listen to this with your spirit wide awake. Chosen one, you are now in the place where God pays for what He writes. God's plan meets supernatural supply here, where the promise that was written over your life starts to come true right now. As it says in Philippians 4:19, God will meet all your needs not with things from this world, but with the riches of His glory. It is holy provision that you are taking. Stepping into divine alignment is a big deal. You are moving into the life that God has already planned for you. Prepare your spirit. Chosen one, what's going to happen is bigger than you thought. You who have been chosen, hear this with all your heart. Things that are happening in your life right now are not random, unplanned, or by chance. This is a holy change in the atmosphere around you, a divine transition. It's when heaven comes into your story in a way that you can't explain with logic, timing, or hard work. You are being moved from a life based on survival to one based on supernatural supply. Your spirit already knows this word as you hear it. There is a rise in you. There's something making you remember. Heaven has been preparing you for this for a long time, but you haven't been aware of it. Something inside you is starting to wake up. You have been going from one emergency to the next, carrying the weight of every bill, choice, fear, and question that you haven't been able to answer. When you tried to make life work with your own strength, you broke yourself. You've had a lot more responsibilities than anyone else around you knew about. How much longer you could keep going is something you've thought about many times. But the time of barely getting by and always looking for the next solution is ending because heaven is taking it apart. You are going into a supernatural world where God is more than just a comfort. He's your source. He takes care of you. He is behind your steps, your vision, your healing, your ideas, and your rise. Lack is no longer the story of your life. That story is being taken out from the beginning. I say this because I've been through my own wilderness and know what it's like to look at a situation that doesn't match what God said would happen. I remember times when I had to deal with silent battles, deadlines, and obligations all at the same time. God saw the pain, even when no one else did. And every time I thought I was at my weakest, heaven had already planned a miracle, a connection, or a breakthrough that I could not have made myself. That's the same grace that's coming over your life now. Chosen one. You're not getting crumbs from heaven. Heaven is getting ready for a party. This isn't about short-term fixes or relief that goes away as quickly as it came. That which we are talking about is a holy overflow, a divine abundance that goes far beyond money. The resources are on their way. Money will come through at the right time. But heaven is giving out more than money. There will be ideas. Good luck is on the way. There will be peace soon. It will be clear soon. The time is right with God. Rest is on the way. Things will get better. Problems are going to be fixed before they even happen. As you move into the flow, things start to fit together in a way that doesn't make sense to your normal mind. You are walking into blessings, chances, and doors you didn't try to open or chase. This is an alignment from another world. This is a divine plan. This is heaven making you fit into what has always been yours through Christ. So many people I've talked to buried their dreams because they thought they didn't have enough to make them come true. They thought the time was wrong. They thought their window had closed. But I'll never forget hearing a woman talk about how she had a vision for almost 10 years. She felt like she missed the chance. She felt like she had missed out on life. That is, until someone heard her passion one normal afternoon. Within a few weeks, her whole project was funded, supported, and started. Later, she told me that God couldn't let go of it until I stopped surviving and began to believe again. You have been chosen, and this is your chance to believe again. You've worked hard for years to get what heaven always meant to give you. It took a lot of work, perfection, and effort to prove yourself. But what you're getting now is not a reward for your hard work. It's a release that was planned. You are entering a realm of blessings that can't be made, levels of success that can't be negotiated, and provisions that can't be explained by natural means. God is giving you money for the future because your life is important. You have fate on you. There is work for you to do. Your existence has an effect on things. There is more than just blessing in this. There is also trust. So, chosen one, now is not the time to shrink. Now is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to stop what heaven is letting out by being too small-minded or accepting too little. Heaven didn't bring you this far just so you could doubt your worth. Now, raise your head. There is a change happening. There is a wake-up call. Something is getting unlocked for you. What felt like a delay was actually getting ready. In reality, what felt denied was being brought into line. Heaven is giving you back the years you thought you lost. Heaven is giving back what was taken. Heaven is fixing things that you thought were broken. Heaven is making it happen in a way that will shut down every lie that said it couldn't happen for you. Chosen one, what does your life look like when God pays for it? Rest that throws off your enemies looks like it. Plans that you didn't study for look like they were used. It looks like answers come before the storm. When you thought you couldn't knock any longer, it looks like doors opened right away. In the midst of chaos, there seems to be peace, clarity, and an unexpected act of kindness that is showing up all over your story like divine fingerprints. Nothing can stop you from achieving your purpose when God funds it. Not your past, not your fear, not the people who left, not the mistakes you made, and not the times you thought made you unfit. You were picked out before the world was made. Your calling was clear from the start, even when life tried to change your mind. And God can't close what He opens. No one can open something that God closes. Now is your chance, chosen one. Heaven is changing the way you feel. Heaven is breaking the patterns that have helped you stay alive. Heaven is giving you a God-given strength, confidence, and support that you have never had before. The words that were written over you are coming true. You are stepping into the provision of God. You are entering your supernatural supply. Take a deep breath in, chosen one. Feel it rise, snorts. Let your spirit know about it. What you need is okay with heaven. What was delayed is moving faster in heaven. What was scattered is coming back together. And heaven is getting you ready for a life that doesn't look like a struggle anymore, but like a chosen one with a purpose. You need to know that nothing in your life is happening by chance as this divine flow continues to flow. Each change, each stirring, and every time your spirit feels stretched or awakened is part of a holy shift. You are being moved from reacting to receiving, from trying to giving up, and from not knowing what will happen to knowing for sure. And there were times when you did everything you could with what you had and got by on small bits of strength and hope. Still, heaven was watching, planning, and lining up what you couldn't see even at that very moment. Now, the air around you is starting to react to that preparation that you can't see. You might feel it in small ways, like when your thoughts change, your hopes rise, and your fears fade. These are big changes. These are signs that the timing of heaven and your obedience have not been compatible. Chosen one, now is not just the time when God gives you what you need. He is letting you in on something that has always been yours. If you want to awaken your divine identity, everything that is connected to you must also change. The things you think, the words you use, the places you go, and the chances that come your way start to match up with who you really are in spirit. I can remember times in my own life when I could feel something stirring inside me before I saw any physical proof. Some days I could feel something inside me say, "More is coming," even though nothing around me seemed to point that direction. And a blessing came every time I listened to that whisper and refused to give in to fear. There were times when it wasn't clear how heaven was moving me forward, but there were always little signs. Your life is now being changed by that same invisible grace. There are blessings coming your way that you can't credit to your own work. God's plans are coming together, even though you're not involved. There are things looking for you because heaven told them to. Things like habits, people, and places that don't work for your future may start to fall away. Your spirit knows it's time to let go of the old, even if you want to hold on to what you know. When heaven makes you bigger, you have to get rid of anything that makes you smaller. And getting rid of something doesn't mean you don't like it. It means God is making room for something with weight, purpose, and promise. You can't be around things that remind you of your survival era as the chosen one you are becoming. Your new season needs a new setting, and heaven is changing everything to fit what's coming. The way you carry yourself will change as you move into this supernatural zone. The pressure you used to feel will no longer be on you, so you will walk with more peace. Your thoughts will be clear because heaven is leading them. You will be sure of your choices because fear is losing its power. There were times in my life when worry tried to stop me from dreaming. It wasn't until I gave up that inner battle that God let me see what was meant for me. You, chosen one, are being asked to give up the same thing. Give up, not just giving up, but give up in a holy way that says, "I don't know how, but I know who." This is where supernatural supply starts to come in. Provision that comes before you ask for it. Chances that come up without you having to plan them. Ideas that come to you out of the blue. You will figure out how to solve problems without studying for it. People you meet will help you make the breakthrough you've been praying for. Heaven will move people out of your way and bring them to you at just the right time. During this time, know that you are not only being blessed, you are also being placed. Positioning comes into your life to call you, but blessing comes into your life to make you feel better. Chosen one, heaven isn't getting ready for you right now. Heaven is getting you ready for a cloak, and mantles need people who are mature, clear-headed, and spiritually stable. As a result, you are being given a bigger role with more power than you have had before. The moods will start to change when you're around. The power of your voice will start to grow. People will be affected by your choices in ways you didn't expect. This is why God is making your foundation stronger. The blessing that is coming to you won't crush you, because God is first making you stronger on the inside before expanding you on the outside. You will start to see life through the eyes of someone who is no longer trying to survive, but has finally learned to trust as this change gets stronger. You will stop wondering, will it work out? And start saying, it is already done. You will stop worrying about when things will happen and start going with God's plan. You will stop shrinking to fit into old groups and start rising into the places that God has set aside for you. As your identity becomes more in line with truth, the fear that used to control you will lose its power. To the chosen one, know that heaven will guide, support, and strengthen every step you take from now on. There are other people with you. You're not building by yourself. It's okay to not be alone during this time. Someone or something stronger than fear, lack, or uncertainty is pulling you along. There is a holy event going on. An old thing is coming to life. There is a divine force coming over your life. And this is just the start of what God has planned for you. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community, through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. As the divine plan continues to unfold, you are being led into a realm of life where nothing looks the same, because it is not the same. The old fights that used to wear you down no longer have power over you. The old fears that kept you quiet no longer have a voice. You are letting go of the old habits that kept you small because your spirit is awakening to a bigger truth. When you step out of cycles that lasted years, you enter alignment, which only takes a moment. Heaven has sped up time for you. Your spirit can feel the change, even if you can't see it all yet. You are getting clear in a way that can only be explained by divine revelation and not by what is happening. You are more sure of yourself when you walk now that you know who is walking with you. Chosen one, you may have noticed that things that used to make you nervous no longer do. Being numb is not this. It means spiritual growth. The quiet confidence of someone who has been through storms that should have killed them, heartbreaks that should have broken them for good, and pressures that should have crushed their hope. Still, here you are, rising, believing, and moving forward even though life tried to tell you to stay where you were. I know what it's like to feel like the wait is too much. The waiting is never ending. And the silence from heaven is like being left alone. But every time I thought I couldn't take it any longer, God showed me that He had been carrying me the whole time. That same revelation is coming to you right now. You are becoming more stable than normal because you know that God is not only watching your life, He is also planning it. And being aware of this is changing how you go about your days. When you talk about your dreams, you'll feel more brave inside. Where there used to be panic, you'll feel a calm coming over you. You'll find that you're looking forward to good things instead of getting ready for bad ones. Seeing these things means that heaven is changing your mind, your heart, and who you are from the inside out. As well, chosen one, your environment needs to change as your identity does. There are people you used to feel close to, but now feel far away from, not because of a fight, but because they are calling you. There are some conversations you used to have that make you feel good, but don't now. Some old versions of yourself don't feel right because your spirit has grown beyond your past. This isn't loss. This is being free. This is God taking away burdens you didn't even know you had. Being separated from other people is part of being raised up in heaven. But it's not a punishment. It's getting ready. You can't do your divine job if you're holding on to things that were only meant for a different chapter. You will be drawn to higher places, higher thoughts, higher standards, higher expectations, and higher connections in this new season. You will start to want things that are in line with your destiny, instead of things that make you feel good about the past. You are being made better so that you can handle spiritual, mental, and yes, financial wealth without letting it destroy you. Heaven is getting you ready for more than just provision. This needs more depth. This needs careful thought. This needs to have spiritual weight. And heaven is still putting that weight on you. As this inner change happens, you will also notice that divine timing works in ways that almost don't seem real. Chances that seemed like they would never come up will suddenly appear. Talks that seemed impossible before will be easy to start, because your capacity has grown. Ideas that seemed too big before will now seem natural. There have been times in my life when everything came together in a way I couldn't have planned or forced. That's what happens when God backs your steps. That's what happens when God's timing is right. You are going through that right now. Chosen one, everything that has to do with your purpose is being turned on. Your gifts are getting stronger. Your vision is getting clearer. And your intuition is getting stronger. As this happens, you'll be amazed at how easily answers start to come to you. Life is no longer a surprise when heaven pays for it. It turns into a beat. It turns into a pattern. It happens naturally when things are aligned. You won't have to look for things that have already been given to you, because heaven says so. What is meant for you will find you, follow you, and flow to you. God's flow is beautiful like this. Nothing is being forced from you. There are no scraps at stake. There is grace in your steps. And grace does things that hustle could never do. Grace lets people in. Grace gathers things. Grace brings people together. Grace tells us the plan. It used to scare you, but grace gets you through the rain. And as you trust it more, it grows. Grace is becoming your new normal. Prepare yourself, chosen one. Now is the time when provision won't come as a surprise. People will expect it. You are entering a time when peace will be common. This is what you'll start with. You are moving into a life where good things won't just happen by chance. they will feel like they are on the same page. Heaven is writing a new story for you from the inside out, and soon everything will reflect this change. As you continue to walk through this divine change, chosen one, you will notice that heaven is no longer moving in a subtle way in your life. What seemed like friendly nudges in the dark will now feel like clear directions. The signs that were all over the place will start to come together to make a pattern. Breakthroughs that seemed random at first will start to show that they were part of a holy plan. You are now in a time when heaven isn't hints anymore. Heaven is making announcements, and each one shows that you are no longer just surviving. You are going up. Before things catch up with you, you are moving into the realm where your spirit leads. You will start to see life react to you in ways you have never seen before because of that change. If you are the chosen one, you will quickly notice that things are becoming clear. What you've been waiting months or even years for will start to become clear. You will know what to do next without having to think about it too much. You will know the way without having to guess if it comes from God. These clear thoughts are not in your head. It comes from your spirit. Your thoughts are becoming more in line with your calling, your wants, your destiny, your vision, and God's timing. These things will work together to make confusion less powerful over you. I've prayed for answers and felt nothing but silence. Later, I realized that the silence was getting me ready for a moment of clarity that would change everything. Now, that same clarity is coming to your life. As you become more clear, your calling will become heavier. You will start to feel a strong pull toward a purpose that you can't ignore. You will wake up some days with a new fire in your heart because you know something big is coming. There will be times when your passion comes back to you out of the blue. Talks with other people will help you remember who you are and what you were meant to become. This is heaven making you feel good. This is God waking you up to your job. Your call is coming to the fore from the background. You won't be able to hide from the chosen one anymore. You won't be able to run away from it anymore. It will no longer work to act like you don't feel it. You are too big to stay small because God put too much inside you. As your assignment comes to life, some things around you will start to move more quickly. As your spirit gets stronger, people who used to feel safe around you may start to feel uncomfortable. Places that were comfortable in the past might now feel stifling. Conversations that used to be fun may now be draining you. This is because your spirit is rising, and anything that doesn't match that rise will fall away on its own. This isn't a punishment. This is filtration from heaven. God is keeping what He is building inside you pure by getting rid of anything that could hurt its growth. You might want to hold on to old relationships or routines that you know well, but letting go is a part of rising. You can't bring old weight into a new space. In this season, you will also start to feel heaven changing the way you think about things. Things that you used to put up with will no longer make you feel good. Some habits will go away on their own because they don't fit with the person you are becoming. You will want peace more than you want to be liked. You will look for a reason to live more than for fun. You will want depth more than anything else. After going through this change myself, I understood why some things no longer made me happy. My spirit had grown beyond what my body used to depend on. Now you're going through the same kind of growth. It's a sign that heaven is preparing you for supernatural responsibility. Because you have been chosen, as this inner maturity grows, you will move with confidence that doesn't come from accomplishments or approval. It comes from being shown. You will understand that heaven is behind you, that God is leading you, and that grace is keeping you going. Because you were taught to doubt yourself, your voice, and your power for so long, this confidence may feel strange at first. But as God makes you stronger on the inside, your confidence will no longer depend on what's going on around you. It will be based on identity, seeing yourself as someone who has been picked, anointed, or given the job of carrying something that others aren't able to do. As your confidence grows, chances will start to come your way before you even know they're there. There will be times when you feel like they were made just for you to give a gift. You'll meet people who make you feel like they were sent right to you by God. You will go into places you never thought you deserved to be before. But as each door opens, you'll know in your heart that it's not a surprise, but that everything is right. Because deep down, you'll know that everything that's happening around you was planned out in your mind first. Heaven will never give you something outside of yourself that you are not ready for inside. Get ready, chosen one, because this supernatural alignment is just getting started. You're about to enter a flow state where breakthroughs, elevation, and blessings will all feel like natural parts of who you are becoming. Heaven is not just changing the way things are for you. Heaven is changing you. And now everything around you needs to change to fit the new you that God has planned for this moment. As this divine story continues to play out in your life, you will realize that God is not just making things better. He is shifting your spiritual position, where you are on the inside, and how you move, think, speak, and see what is possible. This change is not happening outside first. It's inside you, you can't see it, and it's quiet, but it's strong enough to change your whole future. You may have been wondering why some things have been making you feel bad lately, why old patterns feel tighter, and why places you used to enjoy were no longer fulfilling your spirit. It's because heaven wants you to go to a higher level. As you get ready for the supernatural, you are being pulled away from what was normal. And this kind of elevation always starts inside before it shows up outside. Chosen one, you are going through a deep recalibrating. Even if you don't think you asked for it, God is still setting you up. Things that used to drain you now teach you something important. Things that used to make you feel down now make you realize how strong you are. Everything that happened to you in the past is being reinterpreted in light of God's plan. Everything is being used for something else. You are even being redeemed while you wait. During some times, you may have felt like no one was watching or listening to you, but heaven was always there. I've been through times when I felt like God had left me, only to realize later that his silence was a plan. And now, chosen one, you are entering the realization that everything you went through was worth it. No tears, no sadness, and not a single moment of not knowing what to do. Heaven was keeping track of everything and planning a divine turnabout. You will start to feel a strength rising inside you that you can't explain. It's likely that you'll make choices that the old you would never have been brave enough to make. There will be times when you speak up that even surprise you. Things that you thought you needed will come off of you. Being impulsive is not this. This is the intelligence of the Spirit. Heaven is making your judgment sharper. God is pushing you to do more. You are getting ready to lead what you could only dream of before. The level of blessing that is coming is being raised inside you to match it. Because, chosen one, this is one of the most important truths you must accept. God doesn't bless small names with big blessings. Before he keeps the promise, he grows the person. Your perspective will also grow as your identity does. You will no longer think like someone who is just trying to stay alive. Instead, you will think like someone who is meant to build. You will no longer plan out of fear, but out of faith. You will no longer ask if something is possible. Instead, you will ask if it fits. This change in how you see things shows that heaven is renewing your mind. It shows that God's plan is starting to come together. You will have ideas come to you out of the blue, innovations you didn't even think of, and directions that feel too good to be random. These are blueprints from heaven that are being sent to you. And if you follow them, you will get results that don't make sense. Even though you are being raised, there will be times when you wonder if you are really ready. When you see what God wants you to do, you'll wonder why He picked you. This is something I really understand, because there were times when I felt completely unfit for the tasks God gave me. But every time I had doubts, God told me one thing that was true. He doesn't call those who are ready. He gets those who are ready. He is now getting you ready. He is making parts of your character stronger that felt weak before. He is fixing wounds you forgot you had. He is changing who you are to fit your destiny. It's not a very big call on your life. You were made to do it. Chosen one, as you keep working on yourself, you will see that heaven is arranging the people in your life at just the right time. Some people will show up with words of encouragement, advice, or chances. These connections to God are not accidents. You have to do them. Heaven sends people to help you grow, get better, be sure of your path, and walk with you into the next part of it. Still, some relationships will end on their own, not suddenly or painfully, but quietly and without a hitch. This is how God makes room for what is going to happen. At first, it might seem strange, but trust that heaven never takes away without giving back. What's coming will be much more important, have a bigger purpose, and be in line with what came before. And chosen one, as you go deeper into this divine exchange, you will start to feel like you are being provided for in ways that seem almost too good to be true. Chances will come up out of the blue. Resources will show up for no reason. There will be solutions before the problem is even solved. You will start to understand that you no longer need the world system. You are living off of heaven's economy, and heaven's economy never runs out. Provision isn't being held up. It is getting ready, and right now, it is moving toward you. Chosen one, let this truth sink in. Some reason is making you change from the inside out. Heaven is getting you ready to walk in a blessing that fits your destiny, your calling, and your obedience. Everything you're doing right now is preparing you for the supernatural wealth that's about to come your way. Chosen one, as this holy event continues, you must know that heaven is changing not only what is going on around you, but also what is going on inside you. Your inner world is being rebuilt on a new base, one of trust instead of stress, faith instead of fear, and divine identity instead of the need to survive. This is why some feelings, habits, and responses are coming to the surface right now. Not to be too much for you, but to be freed from you. Taking old patterns with you into the next dimension is not possible. Your inner atmosphere is being cleaned by heaven so that when elevation comes, it doesn't crush you, but crowns you. Finally, for the chosen one, this cleansing is not a punishment. It's getting ready. Sometimes you might feel pushed. Sometimes you might get emotional. And sometimes you might be very sensitive to things that never bothered you before. You are becoming more spiritually sensitive because heaven wants you to know the difference between what is divine, what is distracting, and what is dangerous to your destiny. Many of you have learned to dull your intuition over the years in order to stay alive. The outside world told you that your inner voice wasn't reliable, so you shut it down. But now that heaven is healing your spirit, you can see things more clearly. You are becoming aware of places, energies, and intentions that you didn't pay attention to before. This shows that you are spiritually grown up. This is also a sign that heaven is giving you more responsibility. Someone who can't see can't control fate, and God is making sure that you, chosen one, are spiritually ready for what He is bringing into your life. Another thing you might notice, that you can handle more peace. Things that used to scare you now seem manageable. When storms used to scare you, they now make you wise and calm. It's not that life is getting better, it's that your spirit is getting stronger. Peace doesn't mean that there are no problems. It is the presence of a divine point of view. And heaven is giving you a view that lets you see beyond what is happening right now, beyond what is on the surface, and beyond the natural limits of your situation. There were times in my life when the storms never stopped, but my fear did. Not because I got stronger, but because God made me more stable. And now, chosen one, that same steadiness is settling into your spirit. As your inner strength grows, you will also notice that your connection with provision is getting better. A lot of you have been through times when you were always worried about whether you would have enough money, time, strength, or support. You learned to be ready for lack, disappointment, and scarcity during those times. That story is being changed by heaven, though. You are learning how to live a life of plenty instead of worry. It will no longer feel like provision is random. You can count on it. It won't be a surprise when blessings happen. They will feel like they are in sync. You'll start to see resources coming in ways that back up God's promise instead of going against what you know to be true. And as you see these things happen, a deeper truth will settle in your heart. God isn't just taking care of you. He's going to work with you. As heaven lines up your steps with divine timing, this partnership is becoming more clear. As time goes on, you'll start to notice when the right chance comes up at just the right time. People you meet will have parts of your destiny that you don't even know about. You will be in situations that seem predetermined, have conversations that lead to new opportunities, and meet people who change your whole path. These are not just random events. They prove something. Heaven is coordinating a level of alignment that you could never reach by working hard on your own. Additionally, the more aligned you are, the faster you will move. Your life moves with grace instead of grinding when your spirit is in balance. Picked. Another change that stands out this season is that you are becoming more aware of how valuable you are. You're starting to understand that what you do, earn, or accomplish doesn't make you valuable. It has to do with how heaven sees you. At first, this may seem strange, because many of you were taught that your worth was tied to your work. But heaven is changing that way of thinking. You don't need to look for approval when you know what you're worth. You no longer put up with average places to live. You no longer want to be in relationships that make you feel bad. You start to attract people, places, and chances that are in line with what you carry. You start to make choices based on who you are instead of fear. Your walk starts to look like that of someone God personally chose. And as you learn more about your worth, your limits will appear. You'll say no to things that used to tempt you. You will leave behind what used to bother you. You'll look after your peace like it's a valuable thing, which it is. There are no barriers at the edges. They are good things. They give God the space He needs to build something lasting in your life. I learned that every big step forward in my journey required me to give up something that used to be easy for me. It became a habit sometimes, at times a relationship, sometimes an out-of-date idea. And every time I let go of something, God gave me something better in its place. You are now seeing that same exchange. Chosen one, everything inside you is being reset to match the power of what heaven is letting out. Your spirit is getting bigger. Your ability is getting better. Your judgment is getting better. Your peace is getting stronger. And every time you change inside, the outside world is getting ready to change too. Keep your door open. Stay ready to give up. Stay in line. The most amazing amount of provision, purpose, and supernatural clarity is almost here. As you move through this divine unfolding, you will see that heaven is doing more than just putting things back together again. Heaven is showing you who you really are, hidden by the weight of survival and the shadows of your old self. For some, this realization comes slowly, while for others, it comes all at once. It still comes with the same undeniable force. Look at this picture of yourself that God has always seen, even when you couldn't see it. This unveiling is more than just an emotional experience. This is a spiritual awakening that gets you ready for a supernatural level of alignment, power, and wealth. Every change you go through brings you closer to the future that God has planned for you. There will be times when this change feels like inner conflict, since the old self will want to hold on to old habits, while the new self rises with confidence. You may find that your thoughts change your wants, your internal standards, and your level of awareness without you even realizing it. This is proof that heaven is changing the way you think. The survival mentality that helped you in the past is now falling apart. In its place is a mindset of spiritual authority, abundance, and clarity. You are not only changing the way you think, you are also changing. Years ago, the seeds of divine identity were planted, and now they are finally sprouting. The process may feel strange, but it is completely planned and can't be undone. As this inner rebirth goes on, the people around you will start to change too. Some people will pull away without giving a reason. People will suddenly get closer to you, as if they can tell that something is changing in you. Do not be scared of these moves. They are part of the spiritual sorting that takes place when a person enters the window of their destiny. The people who can't honor your calling will quietly fade away, not because they want to cause trouble or argue, but because their time on your journey is up. Those who are in divine alignment will be drawn to you, seeing the light in your life even before you do. Chosen one, you should also get ready for your spirit to become more sensitive. When God raises someone up, He makes their inner hearing better. You'll notice that some conversations are heavier than they used to be. Some places make you tired faster, and some types of entertainment no longer make you feel good. This doesn't mean you're weak. It shows that you are stylish. It's like heaven is tuning your spirit like an instrument, getting rid of the static, so you can clearly hear God's instructions. When you become more aware of what is holy, it becomes easier to tell what is bad. And this wisdom will keep everything that heaven is about to give you safe. Being responsible goes hand in hand with being sensitive. God is not only blessing you, He is also making you stronger. As part of that building, you are learning to follow His instructions without question. At times, heaven will tell you to move forward, and at other times, it will tell you to move back. You might be drawn to chances that used to scare you, or away from situations that you used to put up with. These instincts don't happen by chance. They are spiritual signs that will help you get in line. Heaven will not let you waste time on tasks that are not yours when heaven is paying for your future. During this time, your vision will also get bigger. It will start to feel possible to have ideas, dreams, and plans that you thought were too big before. When you wake up, you'll have clarity, new ideas, and sudden inspiration. The reason for this is that heaven is giving your purpose a new sense of urgency. Not only are you being trained for promotion, you are also being trained to manage influence. Provision won't just show up to make your life easier, though. Provision will come to strengthen your calling, keep your mission going, and help you have a bigger effect on the people who are connected to your destiny. Chosen one, you may feel pressure building up again. This is not because you are falling back into old habits, but because pressure is a sign of growth. When a container grows, it can be painful to be stretched, but it's necessary to hold what's coming. Your spirit is the same way. Heaven is pulling you tighter so that you can hold more revelation, wisdom, peace, and provision without breaking from the weight of happiness. Do not think that this stretching is a struggle. It is holy stretching, divine getting ready for overflow. As this expansion goes on, you will also feel supernatural protection. Things that could have gone badly for you will suddenly turn out well for you. Plans that were made to hurt you will fall apart before they reach your life. People who used to get you wrong will no longer be able to reach you. God is not only getting ready to bless you, He is also watching over your surroundings. You will start to see signs of divine shielding, not because danger is getting worse, but because that is what your destiny calls for. Heaven looks out for things that it supports. And now is the time when your calling is too important to be left alone. Soon, you'll also feel a deeper peace settle over you. This peace is stable and won't end soon. It will stay the same even if things change. It will keep you steady when uncertainty tries to scare you. It will help you remember that you are not walking alone, but with help from a source that can't fail. With this peace, you can be sure that you are moving into supernatural provision. A lot of good things happen in you before heaven pours them out around you. Chosen one, everything in your life is falling into place at just the right time. The way you feel is not a coincidence. The changes you feel inside are not in your head. If you want more, feel more clear, or want to become who you really are, these are all signs that heaven is calling you forward. For as hard as the process may feel, know that something amazing is being made inside you. Keep going, keep an open mind, and be ready. You are being worked on by heaven, and it will not end until it is done. As this divine unveiling goes on, beloved, heaven is starting to touch the parts of your life that you thought were too broken, too late, or too small to matter. In this holy moment of spiritual growth, you need to know that nothing about your journey has been a waste. Every setback, disappointment, and unexpected turn has been used to build the masterpiece that God is making inside of you. What seemed like pieces at first are now becoming foundations. What seemed like detours at first are now being seen as divine alignments. And what you thought was abandonment was actually heaven moving you to a much better future than you thought possible. Just realizing this changes your inner posture and gets you ready to receive what your spirit has been carrying for a long time. With each step into this world of supernatural alignment, there will be a stronger pull toward being real. It's no longer possible to pretend, hide, or put on a show. Heaven wants you to be who you really are, which is shaped like God. The part of you that lived to be liked is going away. The one that buried dreams to keep the peace is becoming less clear. The part of you that took less because you were afraid of being too much is being replaced by a brave, aligned, and purpose-driven self. No longer are you adapting to places that can't hold your calling. You are rising to meet the places that heaven has set aside for you. And this change will make you feel free. Even if it makes you feel lonely sometimes, because spiritual growth often starts with being apart. Don't worry that the people you used to lean on will become farther away from you. Chosen one. No, heaven is not keeping you alone. Heaven keeps you warm. There's a difference. Being alone makes you feel empty, but insulation keeps your spirit safe, while God changes you inside. Some people aren't going to leave you. They are being taken off slowly, so they don't get in the way of the next part of your transformation. Others are getting closer because they have information, advice, or help that is important to your destiny. Heaven is carefully choosing which of your relationships to keep and making sure only the ones that are in line with your purpose stay. As these changes happen in your relationships, your spirit will become more aware of what you need to do. Many of you have known for a long time that you were meant to be a part of something bigger than yourself. You knew it when you were restless, unhappy with average, and wanting more depth and meaning in your life. What you thought was just your imagination is now turning out to be revelation. Heaven is letting you know what your spirit already knew. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to stay hidden. You were not meant to stay small. Your destiny calls for you to be seen, have an impact, and be given divine power. Now, heaven is giving you the clear vision you need to see the way forward. With this level of clarity comes responsibility. And when you take on responsibility, God gives you resources. Heaven doesn't give visions without making plans. You will start to see chances come up that are a match for the tasks God has given you. Conversations you didn't expect will confirm what you already know. You can now knock on doors, and they will open themselves without having to try. Ideas that seemed impossible at first will suddenly seem possible. Heaven is telling us it's time to move from hope to action, from dreaming to building, and from surviving to being a good steward. As you go through this change, chosen one, you will start to see ghosts and other supernatural things in ways you have never seen before. God will guide you through the small things in your life, not always through big miracles, though those will happen. Bills that used to be too much for you will now be easy to handle. Things you used to worry about will be taken care of before you even say what you need. The answers you need will appear just when you need them. People will show up with information, tools, or access that you didn't even know you needed. Not only is this money from heaven, but it's also spiritual, emotional, relational, and intellectual support sent straight from the throne room. Your sense of peace will grow as this supernatural flow does. The worry that used to rule your mornings will no longer be in charge. The worry that used to make you sad will no longer hold you back. You'll start to believe what you can't see more than what you can. From now on, you'll start to expect good things instead of being ready for bad ones. You'll also start to understand that provision is not something you seek. Something follows you when you walk in obedience to God, to the chosen one. This is not just wishful thinking. That's not spiritual hope. It is in line. Everything changes when your life lines up with God's timing, your thoughts, feelings, opportunities, relationships, and even your ability to hear God clearly. And this alignment can't be changed backwards unless you go backwards, which you will not do, because you know what peace is like in your heart. You know what it's like to feel like divine momentum. You know deep down that you were made for much more than struggle now that you've even caught a glimpse of supernatural flow. You are moving into a time when heaven will not only take care of you, but will also work with you. Where good things don't just fall into your life, they flow through it. Where having a purpose is not something you try to achieve, but something you are. There are changes happening all over, and these changes will last. Dear Chosen One, as you go deeper into this holy elevation, you will realize that heaven is not only changing your circumstances, but also your whole spiritual frequency. You are being tuned to work on a higher frequency, where fear, doubt, and lack of resources can't exist. You need to reset your spirit, because what heaven is planning to bring into your life needs a spirit that is steady, wise, and firmly rooted in truth. Not only are you being blessed, you are also being changed, so that the blessing can rest on you without crushing you. The unseen miracle that makes the visible miracle possible is this inner strengthening, which is now being done perfectly inside you by heaven. There may be times when this spiritual change feels like pressure, but Chosen One, don't get the wrong idea about what this pressure is for. When you feel pressure, it means that something that has been growing inside you is ready to come out. It's like a seed that has to push against the ground to grow. To fully step into your calling, you have to push against old limits. This stress is not a punishment, it's birth. It is the sound of destiny, pulling your spirit apart to make room for what is about to happen. You will find strengths and courage you didn't know you had while stretching. Heaven is letting you know how much you can do, so you can jump right up when the door opens. As this emergence goes on, you will become more clear inside. Thoughts that were unclear before will become clear. Questions that used to be too much for you will start to answer themselves. Some kind of quiet wisdom will start to settle inside you. It won't scream, but it will speak with undeniable weight. Getting aligned leads to this. When heaven aligns your spirit with its beat, confusion can't rule you. You no longer make choices based on stress. Instead, you use your wisdom. Now you don't act on impulse, but on truth. The more you value this inner clarity, the more heaven will trust you to discover even more. Chosen One, you will start to see your past in a new way during this time of increased clarity. The pain that seemed pointless at first will now show what it's for. When you lost something important in the past, it made you stronger in the end. The delays that used to bother you will now turn out to be divine breaks that keep you from going down paths that weren't meant to be in your story. Heaven is giving you the ability to heal in the past, understand in the present with peace, and look ahead with confidence. In this new season, nothing from the past will bother you. Instead, your past will show you that God has been with you the whole time. This deeper understanding will also change how you relate to provision. You will no longer think of provision as something that comes and goes without warning. Instead, you will see it as a steady flow that is kept going by God's plan. You'll start to see patterns in how God helps you, like patterns of timing, patterns of alignment, patterns of help that you didn't expect, and patterns of breakthroughs that you can't explain. Things that seemed random before will start to feel planned. As soon as you understand how heaven works, you stop worrying about the how and focus on the who. When you know the provider, provision feels more personal. As you learn more about this, your confidence will grow, but not in a cocky way. When you know that heaven is behind you, you will walk and talk differently, and make decisions with more weight. Sometimes this change in posture will even surprise you. Your spirit will tell you no to things you used to put up with, because they don't fit with your future. Because you now know that being brave is in your divine DNA, you will say yes to chances that used to scare you. The world will start to treat you differently as you walk in this new spiritual authority. Because spiritual authority is not something you say. It's something you carry. You have become the chosen one. With this newfound power comes more influence. No matter if you ask them to pay attention, they will. They will want your insight, your presence, and your wisdom. This is because you can't hide the light inside you any longer. Heaven has been polishing you behind closed doors, and now everyone can see the shine. Even though you may have felt hidden, ignored, or undervalued for years, that wasn't unfair. It was getting ready. Before it grows, a seed is hidden. It takes time for a diamond to shine, and a chosen one is hidden before it is shown. Now the revealing starts, and heaven will make sure that when you rise in a way that can't be ignored. As your power grows, so will your sense of purpose. You will want to help others, to speak life where you used to stay quiet, and to lead others through the storms you lived through. This is a part of your work. Heaven doesn't raise you up to make you alone. It does this so that you can be a breakthrough for other people. Some people will turn to your testimony for help when they are looking for hope, clarity, or direction. You will not speak from theory, but from personal experience. Everything you got through has turned into oil, and that oil will bless the people God puts in your life, chosen one. This season marks the start of strange events happening at the same time. Your inside and outside worlds are starting to match up. There are signs that your faith and real life are coming together. Your prayers and the things that happen are starting to line up. Moments, people, resources, and chances are all being perfectly woven together in heaven. Everything is now planned. Everything is done on purpose. And the easier your elevation gets, the more you give in to the process. Right now, you're on the edge of divine momentum. Things that start this season will last. It will grow. Heaven isn't giving you a second. Heaven is giving you a cloak. And once a chosen one is given a mantle, nothing can stop what comes next. Chosen one. As you go deeper into this divine momentum, you will feel heaven changing the atmosphere around your life. Things that were heavy will feel lighter now. Things that felt stuck will start to move again. What didn't make sense at first will start to make sense in ways you could never have planned on your own. We can see from this that you are no longer trying to get spiritual alignment. It's the truth that you live in. Not because the obstacles are gone, but because your spirit has grown stronger. The old resistance that used to weaken you is no longer strong. The rise isn't loud or exciting. There is a strong supernatural force behind it. There is a change inside you, and now everything around you is reacting to that change. You might start to notice that peace follows you into places where you used to feel anxious. Conversations that used to make you feel uneasy will now help you see things clearly. You will find it easy to make decisions that used to be hard for you. This is because heaven is holding you steady from the inside. Situations outside of you can't shake you. When God strengthens your inner foundation, you no longer live based on what happens. You live according to what God tells you to do. You're no longer living your life out of fear. You get through it by using your judgment. One of the most amazing things that heaven does for a chosen one is this change inside them. You can walk through storms without losing your balance because of this miracle. You will become more aware of the spiritual authority that holds your life together as this stability grows. You will feel a new kind of boldness rising inside you. It won't come from confidence alone, but from a calling. The way you talk, act, and carry yourself will change because of this courage. You will no longer wait for permission to do what God has already given you permission to do. You won't shrink to make other people feel better. You will stop apologizing for the gift that makes you unique. You will walk with purpose, clarity, and holy conviction instead, knowing that heaven is behind every step you take clears throat. As the chosen one, this power will make some people feel uneasy. People who used to benefit from your self-doubt will show how insecure they really are. People who only knew you during your survival season will see you in a new light. Don't let their reactions bother you. Heaven will raise you up, but not everyone will understand the change. But being understood is not what elevation is all about. It has to do with being in sync. And the people in your life who are meant to stay will get used to the new you that heaven is showing them. People who can't change were never meant to be with you as you move on to the next level. As heaven gives you more power, it will also give you more vision. It will start to look like there are options where there were once only ones. Ideas that you thought were impossible will now seem divinely inspired. You will see clearly again goals you buried because of fear or lack. This is because heaven is bringing out the builder in you. You weren't just called to get through life. You were asked to make it happen. And now that the fog of fear has lifted, your spiritual instincts, creativity, insight are stronger than ever. This awakening isn't a fluke. It means that God is getting you ready to carry something bigger than anything else you've ever carried. With this new sense of awakening, your need for a purpose will grow stronger. You will feel drawn to things that are in line with assignment and less interested in things that make you feel down. Things, people, and places that used to interest you will no longer make you happy. This means that you have grown past what was meant for earlier parts of your journey. Your spirit will not be able to stay in places that make heaven sad. Your calling is too big, too holy, and too important to be limited. As you leave these old places, you'll find that heaven has already made new ones ready for you. Places where your voice is heard, your gifts are valued, and your calling is known. Chosen one, this change into purpose will also make you trust yourself more. You'll feel more confident as you move forward, not because you know everything, but because you know who is leading you. When you trust, you speak trust. When you stand in peace. When you give up, you become strong. You will no longer want to be in charge of everything, because you will finally understand that God's timing is not just right. It's perfect. Your life will become incredibly easy as this trust grows. Not ease that takes away work, but ease that takes away fear. Don't worry, you will work. When things get tough, you won't break. Not because the path is easy, but because your spirit is strong. You will move forward. Chosen one, heaven isn't getting ready for you right now. Heaven is getting you ready for a cloak. Influence, wealth, clarity, and sacred responsibility are all wrapped up in this mantle. You are becoming everything that will help you do what you were meant to do. And this chapter you're in won't be short-lived. It changes everything. Dear chosen one, as you move deeper into this chapter of change, you will feel your spirit awaken even more. A feeling that tells you something holy is going on beneath the surface of your normal life. There is no emotional hype behind this awakening. It's the quiet sign that heaven has changed your timeline, cleared your path, and made sure that your next steps are in line with God's plan. You might not see the whole picture yet, but you can feel the momentum, the supernatural pull, the push that you can't see. This is heaven telling you that you are now ready. Not almost ready, not ready for someday. Get ready now. As this divine momentum grows, you will notice that the way you talk to yourself changes. There were times when you questioned yourself, but now you believe in possibilities. You no longer fear not having enough. Now you expect to have enough. You used to be afraid to move, but now you have the courage to do so. This change on the inside is the real proof that God has touched your life. The voice of lack no longer guides you. Now it's the whisper of destiny. The echo of old wounds no longer guides you. Instead, the clarity of a fresh spirit does. Heaven is untangling your thoughts, releasing old stories, and getting rid of the patterns of fear that used to block your vision. You may also feel more present than ever, chosen one. Things that used to seem normal now have meaning. Conversations that were once casual now sound like they have a point. You'll start to see God in the little things, like the timing, the way things fit together, and the small signs He puts in your path. You are fully awake in spirit when you feel this level of awareness. You can now see things spiritually. You can see how your life is being planned behind the scenes, and this knowledge will ground you in ways you have never felt before. Your connection to purpose will grow stronger when you are in this anchored state. You'll no longer feel like you need to run after chances. On the contrary, chances will start to come your way. This is not pride, it's alignment. The world reacts differently when you walk in your true self. Doors that used to feel locked will now open with just a touch. People who didn't notice you before will start to see how gracious you are. Things that used to seem impossible will now move along with the ease of magic. You are entering a flow state where heaven boosts your efforts, gives you more resources, and speeds up your progress. Along with this divine speeding up comes divine duty. Ideas, connections, and chances that have a kingdom purpose will be given to you. Heaven will not give you power just to get ahead in life. Because someone else's breakthrough is linked to your obedience, it will give you power. Your yes is linked to someone else's freedom. The hope of someone else is in your voice. This is why God is making you stronger, cleaning up your motives, and polishing your spirit. You are becoming someone who can carry heavy things without coming down, lead without losing their humility, and be seen without being scared. Picked one, as your power grows, you'll need more time to rest. Not the kind of rest that comes from doing nothing, but the kind that comes from trust. Heaven is teaching you to move without trying, to build without being afraid, and to move forward without getting upset. This rest from God will protect you. It will keep you from thinking too much, which is bad for your heart, and it will keep your spirit from getting tired. You work from revelation, not reaction, when you work from rest. You don't worry when you make decisions. There is no confusion in the way you walk. It will also help you figure out what is good for you and what is bad, as well as who is good for you and who is bad for you. This rest will also help you decide where to put your energy and where to pull it back. Heaven is clearing the way for you by getting rid of obstacles. Some invitations will seem less appealing to you. You'll feel like old temptations are less strong. The noise around you will go away, and you'll be able to hear your own divine rhythm. This clarity is a gift. It's like a spiritual compass that points you in the direction of the future that God has planned for you. Everything in your life is changing to fit the call on your spirit. Chosen one. You are being fit, shaped, stretched, and aligned in ways that you prayed for. You didn't just happen to find this season. It is a time when heaven is set aside for you. As you walk in your new spiritual self, you'll start to understand why things happened the way they did. There was no waste. There was no chance. You have been getting ready for this moment your whole life. Chosen one, as you move into the next part of your divine unfolding, you will start to feel a big change in how heaven talks to you. The signs will feel closer. The confirmations will come more quickly. And the feeling that you already know will get stronger. It will feel like heaven has come down to speak directly to your spirit. This isn't making things up. This is spiritual growth. You have learned, made it through, and grown to the point where you can hear God in ways you couldn't before. With the static gone and the noise down, the frequency of your spirit has risen high enough to catch the revelation that was always meant for you. There will be subtle but clear signs of this new clarity. You'll start to understand things without being told them. You will get nudges before things happen. You'll know something is wrong long before anyone else does, and you'll see a divine opportunity before anyone else does. Not everyone is given this level of awareness. People who have let God remove the old layers of fear, doubt, and distraction are given it. That stripping was okay with you, chosen one. You might not have known it, but every hard part of your life helped you develop the spiritual intelligence you now have. Things you do will change as your spiritual intelligence grows. Your movement will no longer come from impulse or emotion, but from what you have learned. You will no longer waste time trying to explain yourself to people who can't understand you. You won't have to fight battles that heaven hasn't given you. What you will do instead is move carefully. You'll move with style. You'll walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that God is with them all the way. And this confidence won't come from being proud. There will be peace. When your spirit is still, you'll know, I am exactly where I am meant to be. With this newfound peace, heaven will also give you more power. People will want to be around you without fully understanding why. Your peace will make them feel better. Your clarity will make them stronger, and your wisdom will move them. You will be able to carry divine atmosphere. You can't make this happen. It's something you are. The more you align yourself, the more light from heaven will flow through you. There will be times when you walk into a room and change the mood all by yourself. You walk like someone who has been touched by the supernatural hand of God, not because you want to impress, but because you are. Dear chosen one, heaven is also getting ready to give you what you need. You will no longer feel stressed out when you believe big things will happen, but only get small things. Your blessings will start to match the size of your calling. There will be resources that are right for the size of your assignment. Ideas will come to you that are as bright as your spirit. There will be connections that fit the depth of your goal. It will all feel right on time in every way. This isn't a random rise. It makes sense. It's heaven telling you to build what it put inside you. As these good things come your way, gratitude will hold you steady. Not the shallow kind of thanks that only counts what has been seen, but the deep, grown up kind that counts what is still happening. Thankfulness that knows He was working even when it was quiet. Gratitude that knows that every closed door was there to protect you. Every detour was there to help you get ready. And every painful moment was there to prune you. This thanksgiving will keep your heart gentle, your spirit humble, and your mind clear. Hello, chosen one. You are entering a place where heaven pays for your mission, where peace is normal, and where clarity is normal. This is the spiritual growth you prayed for a long time ago. Now you're living the life that was always meant for you. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Your journey doesn't end here. This is the start of what you're becoming. You have been chosen. As this message ends, let your spirit rest in the truth that heaven has already done something for you. You're not waiting for a big step forward. Right where you are puts you in the middle of one. This is your Kairos moment, the time God chose for you, when everything you need is taken care of by the person who called you. What started in your spirit today isn't going away. It's coming together. It's getting stronger. It's turning into the plan for the life that heaven has always planned for you. Chosen one, walk forward now with respect and courage. The transfer of supernatural power has already begun. The holy wind is behind you. The way you're going is blessed. The promise above you is now official. Do not move away from the anointing. Keep your heart open and walk with the confidence of someone whose money comes straight from heaven. Let everyone know if this word made you feel something deep inside. Leave a comment with a statement of faith. Give this to someone who needs to know that God hasn't forgotten about them. May you be blessed, chosen one. We have what you need here. You can see your confirmation here. The door to your future is already open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment, meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit Community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open.